The movie begins by showing a beautiful full moon festival took place in a royal capital in a city called Chen Tang. Among the crowd, it appears their king, Jing, is watching the festival and watching for dangers lurking. Usually, when a festival is held, there will be a sudden attack from an evil demon that targets its people. At the same time, Jing's wife, Queen Yin, was giving birth to her son after an unusual pregnancy that had lasted for 3 years. Since Jing was a wise king, he couldn't help but leave his wife who was giving birth, and chose to oversee the city under his leadership. The thing that Jing was afraid of happened. It appears from a distance that the bat demon and several other demons came to attack the residents who were holding a festival. Seeing this, he ordered his guards to return to the palace to protect the kingdom while he faced the serpent demons alone. Despite the large numbers, Jing was able to defeat the demons. Meanwhile, Queen Yin has successfully given birth to a baby boy at the palace. One of the royal administrators asked the guards to tell Jing the news. The guards immediately set out to inform the king, but unexpectedly, a female demon named Shi Ji appeared before them. The troops were blown away by Shi Ji's surprise attack. Jing, who was fighting, realized the danger lurking in his kingdom. Apparently, this was intentional by Shi Ji to keep Jing busy outside so as not to be inside his palace. Jing rushed to his palace by using high-level body lightning knowledge. Meanwhile, the demon seemed to be approaching Queen Yin in the palace. She intended to kill the son she had just given birth to. A warlord tried to stop the stealth's efforts, but the results were in vain because the stealth could defeat the warlord. Suddenly, a god named Taiyi came, who immediately gave Shi Ji resistance. The demon looked helpless with Taiyi's attack and made her decide to run away from there. And just then, Jing arrived at the room where his wife and Taiyi were. He then apologized to his wife for leaving her alone during childbirth and getting attacked by Shi Ji. Yin didn't mind it. She then told him what had just happened to her husband. Hearing this, Jing immediately bowed and thanked Taiyi for saving his family. Taiyi then explained that the baby his wife had just given birth to was not an ordinary baby. Where the Emperor of the Heavens saw the condition of the earth that was already chaotic and all human efforts were in vain. Therefore, the Emperor of Heaven sent his son to live among humans to cleanse evil spirits. He was passed down through the reincarnation of the son who had just been born by Yin. That's why the demons were so intent on the baby before he was enthroned as a god. Taiyi then ordered Jing and Yin to name their baby Nezha. And after Nezha turned 18, he had to look for him in Jinguang Cave, Qianyuan Mountain. At that time, Taiyi will train Nezha before he is given the power and crowned as a god who will protect the earth from evil demons. Before Taiyi left, he gave them an heirloom, namely a gold bracelet and a red scarf to protect Nezha until he turned 18. 18 years passed. The scene then shows a shop where stealth hunters gather. Among them was a young man named Zhang Finglei who was discussing a person named Nezha. Apparently, Nezha always gets the first rank in stealth hunting, which impacts their income as stealth hunters. They also discussed how to solve the problem. A woman disguised as a man named Lingzhu spoke up. She said Nezha had only beaten ordinary demons with a little hard work. Ling then drew a dragon on a piece of paper. She explained that whoever could defeat this dragon demon would become the #1 demon hunter in the country. She also said that anyone who drank the boiled water of the dragon's bones would make the person live longer, and the dragon's tears would become pearls. However, Lingzhu said that the dragon was involved in a scandal with Jing. Therefore, the dragon's residence, the Xia River, was forbidden for anyone to enter. Apparently, Nezha had been among them and heard his father being slandered. He did not remain silent. There was a fight in the tavern between Nezha and everyone else who attacked him. But because the numbers were outnumbered, Nezha was brought to his palace by the demon hunters and complained about his behavior toward Jing. Jing then pretends to punish Nezha in hopes that the demon hunters are satisfied. After pretending to punish his son, he apologized to the demon hunters and they all left. A few days later, Jing was seen praying at a temple, begging for his son's safety, who was about to travel to Jinguang Cave. While his father was praying, Nezha asked him about the rumors that spread where his father had a scandal with the dragon demon who always killed innocent people. Nezha then said that he would not hesitate to kill the dragon demon if the demon interfered with his father's life. Hearing this, Jing got angry and told Nezha to immediately study with Taiyi. Meanwhile, a dragon demon named Awali lived at the bottom of the Xia River. He seemed to be looking at Shi Ji, who turned herself into a stone to speed up her recovery, who was seriously injured due to the Taiyi god attack she got 18 years ago. Awali then recalled the incident 18 years ago where the seriously injured Shi Ji advised herself to always keep the wind and rain in the city. He also advised her to always come on time as guardian of the wind and rain for 300 years so that she was appointed as an immortal god. Awali, who was looking at Shi Ji, was determined to do anything so that she could recover quickly. Therefore, Awali always caught a woman who was around the Xia River to serve as an offering to speed up the recovery of Shi Ji's wounds. The scene then back to life in the kingdom, where Li Jing still continues to urge his son to be able to study with Taiyi. At first, Nezha refused because he felt he had mastered it. Nezha then told his experience where he had fought with many people and was able to win the fight easily. However, Li Jing insisted and advised him as this was heaven's destiny that should not be avoided. Because of his love for his father, Nezha agreed to his request. That morning, Nezha prepared to start his journey to study with Taiyi. Yin seemed to usher in Nezha's departure enthusiastically. She was happy that her son would undergo education as a god and would later protect his people from all harm. Nezha departed accompanied by a bodyguard named Cheng Lu. However, when arriving at the border, Cheng Lu returned to the palace, and while Nezha apparently had other plans, this opportunity was used for him to go to the Xia River. All this time Li Jing forbade himself and all his people to visit the river, which is the residence of the dragon demon, who is rumored to always prey on humans and can control the weather. However, Nezha ignored the prohibition and was confident that he could defeat the demon with his heirloom. Nezha arrived on the banks of the Xia River in the evening. From a distance, he saw a group of people playing on the bank of the river. At first, the three of them seemed happy and burst out laughing. However, not long after, one by one, they were secretly attacked by the dragon who had become a legend in the river, which was none other than Awali. Until one woman remained who was still shocked to see the cut off of her friend's hand. And just as the woman was about to become Awali's dessert, Nezha finally came to her rescue. He bravely challenges Awali, who is in the form of a dragon, to a fight. Nezha, who has magical abilities, then manages to occupy the dragon's head while giving it an attack. His consecutive attacks and one final blow seriously injured the dragon. However, as it turned out, Nezha's actions were discovered by Li Jing's royal troops, and he ordered Nezha to be arrested and brought home. When Nezha arrived at the palace, Li Jing was furious and slapped him for violating his prohibition. He also beat Nezha until he fell down. Still, in a state of anger, Li Jing then explained that Awali was a descendant of the dragon nation from the East Sea who was ordered to be the guardian of the wind and rain. And everything that happened on the Xia River was a form of sacrifice that had to be made. Li Jing then ordered his bodyguards to take Nezha to prison. On the other hand, Awali, who was seriously injured, gave his body and soul to Shi Ji so that she could recover quickly, but he had to face the consequences where he would die if he gave his soul to her. Because of that, Shi Ji became fully recovered from her long self-medication. She seemed very angry to find her boyfriend, Awali, who died because he was killed by Nezha. To avenge him, Shi Ji then transformed into Taiyi and rushed to the kingdom. Shi Ji, who has transformed into Taiyi, then terrorizes the kingdom with her new power. She then said Nezha had violated the laws of the sky by killing the dragon demon, who controlled the weather in the city. She then threatened the king to immediately kill Nezha, and if he did not obey this, she would continue exterminating all the citizens one by one. The king forcefully pointed his sword at Nezha and ordered his son to kneel down and plead guilty to Taiyi. But the king could not do this and then dropped his sword. Nezha, who loved his father so much, could not bear to see his father whose pride was trampled on by the fake Taiyi god. Nezha then took the sword his father had dropped and asked the god to stop her actions. At the same time, he fell down, and the fake Taiyi god showed her true form where she really was Shi Ji. Li Jing, who knew this, became very angry to see that the person in front of him was not a god but Shi Ji. He then determined to kill Shi Ji. However, in his grief, seeing his only son who had just died before him, Li Jing was powerless to fight Shi Ji. Shi Ji managed to take Li Jing down with ease, but she let him lift so that he could feel the pain she experienced after the death of her boyfriend. After the attack, the situation in the city became even more chaotic, where they all lost the figure of the king who had always protected them. However, Li Jing was still lost in grief and was closely guarded by the royal guards. Meanwhile, the stealth nation continued to attack the kingdom, and many soldiers began to become victims. Li Jing realized that this mess could not be tolerated. He then left the palace with his troops and ordered his troops to look for additional soldiers. Shi Ji seemed to be preparing herself for Li Jing's attack, who decided to besiege the palace. There was a battle between the royal troops and the stealth troops in the king's palace. Li Jing and his troops, who have reliable war skills, can defeat the demons one by one. Li Jing then came out of the palace and found the demons seemed to have killed the royal soldiers. There are corpses of soldiers lying all over the city. Meanwhile, Taiyi, who was in the Sky Kingdom, seemed to know what was going on and knew Nezha had ended his life due to Shi Ji's trick. He thought that Nezha was too careless and rash in his behavior. Taiyi then had to resurrect Nezha using the second of the 3 lives the Heavenly King gave. Thanks to this, Nezha could live again by having the highest level, namely as a god. After Nezha was given his second life, he immediately rushed to the city and saw that a demon was about to kill the king. With his new power as a god, Nezha could finish off the demon with just his light aura. The king was surprised to see his son alive again and with extraordinary abilities. Nezha then ordered Cheng Lu, one of the royal guards, to take his father to rest because he would have a fight with Shi Ji, who had just appeared before him. Nezha then attacked Shi Ji with his strength. His divine power is apparently no match for a demon. Shi Ji was then killed until it was completely destroyed by Nezha. After the demons died, the state of the kingdom became calmer. Jing then apologized to Nezha for the calamity that had occurred in the kingdom. Nezha replies that his father doesn't need to apologize, as it is the demons who have wreaked havoc in the country. The important thing now is the state of the capital that must be repaired immediately. Nezha turned around. He was apparently going to wander to kill all the demons on earth. The moral that can be learned from this movie is to be responsible for the trust that has been given. That's all matter in this world.